Yo, what's poppin'? What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Corey, aka Valedictorian. This is Head of Class Sessions, and the topic I'm gonna speak about today, it may ruffle some feathers, but I'm just putting a perspective on a topic, right? And really wanting to. This kind of goes out. This doesn't even. I'm not involved in the single life, right? But this kind of goes out to single men and single women. I'm going to speak about these things. Actually, just two things. The idea of loyalty and hypergamy. Okay, so we already know what loyalty means, right? When it comes to men and women relationships, that's pretty much set in stone. Hypergamy, right? Now that's a term that has been used to describe the concept of dating up or marrying up, or basically looking for an upgrade from your partner. And a lot of times, studies have showed. A lot of these studies have been, try to be canceled or try to be argued down, but the studies show that usually it's females who are more interested in hypergamy, basically trying to upgrade from their current partner, their current boyfriend, or whoever it is they're seeing, right? And what it is that resources that a man has, or the things that, where they always say, what do men bring to the table, right? That's a statement that it's real, you know what I'm saying? Example, if you have a woman who is trying to find a mate and she has 4 guys that she can choose from in whatever setting, and 3 of the guys make, $100K up, have their own house, have their own car, have businesses, but the one guy has no job, only has, makes, let's say 20, 30K a year, no car, but he treats her right. But the other 3 guys constantly cheat on her, constantly do what they do just because, they choose that. Studies have shown that most women, even though they claim to want loyalty and they claim to want, faithful partners, men that will treat them right, a lot of times you'll have situations where women will be in good relationships or good marriages, or mostly it's relationships, and the guy's doing everything he's supposed to do, as a man for her, and people say that they say that she's usually looking for the better option. They try to say that all. Now, what I will disagree with is that I feel like not all women do this, but I believe it's something that's kind of been ingrained in the culture, in this modern dating culture, or just the modern interaction that men and women have now. I do believe that, it's harder for a woman to date down, as you say, someone who makes less than her, who doesn't have as much resources as her, who, what we would call a low value man. They say a high value and low value, yeah. But then the issue is that when it comes to loyalty, a lot of times in the landscape, you have a low percentage of men who meet the qualifications that the female wants to find. So what's happening is, and like I said, I don't believe it's all. I believe it's, maybe some, maybe most, I don't know, maybe some, they will not be satisfied until they have someone who is making more than them, has more status than them, has more resources than them. And it causes a problem, though, because once those women, overlook the good men who may not make as much, you're going to see that the men that they want, it's going to be harder for them to attain them, because those men usually are not looking for them. I mean, they're looking for, they look down. A lot of times, the high value man or the high earning man would look down, right? But my point is this: I believe that there are so many things that could be fixed with this whole notion of hypergamy. It's almost like it's painting people into a corner. So you got, on one hand, women who want to find the top earners, the men with the top resources, but the number is few. It's not like it's abundant. And with that, they're looking past those who will meet their expectations on the levels of relationship, like being loyal, faithful, loving, kind-hearted, emotionally stable. A lot of those men are just middle of the road, like, middle earning. They're not going to be up there in the 100Ks and the 80Ks. And so it's basically a value judgment. A lot of times, most women will say, hey, I don't really care that he's faithful. I don't care that he's loyal. I don't care that he's, all these good things that he checks off the box. And they will look at financial and basically eliminate that dude from their choosing. Now, everybody has their right to choose. Everybody has their right to have preferences. But with the landscape of how the world is and how America is, I'm just going to say that word, America, there's not a lot of guys who make the type of money that a lot of these women who want to do hypergamy or want to practice hypergamy are making. It's just not. The math ain't mathing. So I think a lot of times it's cringeworthy, because you find a lot of these women who say, I'm not going to settle. I refuse to settle. Okay, that's fine to not settle, but you got to operate in reality too. If you're wanting a good man and you have these things that you want him to have, you're going to have to accept that a lot of times that financial checkbox is not going to be to your liking. But like I said, on my other videos, when I said about high value men, there's more than just money. That's real. And a lot of people refuse to see that, or they make up their own excuses, because let's be honest, money rules a lot of things. Having a lot of money, you get a lot of opportunities, but that cannot control everything. It's showed. Even if a woman got with a billionaire or a millionaire or someone who's half a millionaire, 500K, the chances of him being faithful to you are very slim, because he's got all these options in his face. And they're not saying that it's impossible, it's just improbable. But my thing is, we have to look at it like this, ladies and gentlemen. Men and women were put on this earth to be together. Now, even if you don't want to be with a man or you don't want to be with a woman, you could be single, that's fine. But even as a single man or as a single woman, you have to look at how the landscape is. There's a lot more great men within the middle of the middle income bracket than there is in that 1%. Just trying to find one guy in the 1% who not only just, wants to, have a good relationship with you, not just wants to hit it and quit it and all that. A lot of females got to get hip to this, man. And they've been ignoring a lot of the guys who, let's be honest, they probably would be great boyfriends, great husbands. But I feel like a lot of the younger, there's even some older women who say this, but a lot of the younger women in the younger demographic, they have been taught this. They have been programmed to think this way, because it's almost like it's either my way or the highway. The matters of love and relationships, you have to think more than just the dollar. Now, I do understand you can't go with somebody who has absolutely nothing. They had to have something for themselves. But like I said, hypergamy, I think, is a dangerous thing, because you have, people who are not satisfied. They want better all the time, better, even when their situation is good. Case in point, I don't like talking about it, because I think she's a great human being, great actor, everything, but she dropped the ball. The Maori girl, you know what I'm saying? She divorced her husband because she felt she was not happy enough, right? But she stated herself, He was a good father, good husband, loving, caring, faithful, and he was a high earner. And she still divorced him. So we don't know all the situations, but what I will say is that things are not adding up in the landscape of, with hypergamy. I mean, I can understand how it would work, but we have got to do better in recognizing the plan. Like, this is an agenda that has been put forth to where, women are expected to think that, something that can't be satisfied, or they feel like there's always something better out there. And really, if you let go of a good man, like when I say good man, I ain't just talking about, where he's good all the way around, holistically good, emotionally stable, financially stable. You can be financially stable with 60K and up, 70K, 50K. Really, that's half the country's doing that. But we've been, like I said, men and specifically women have been programmed to think that, nope, that's not good enough. And so they're like, yep, grass is greener on the other side. No, it's scorched earth over there, honestly. And that's why you get a lot of, this resentful women. You get a lot of, women who just don't trust anymore, who feel like, they've been dealt a bad hand in life. No, you dealt it yourself, especially if you have a good man by you. So that was my thoughts on that, man. I'm not going to get too deep into it because a lot of times people will just argue for the case of arguing, or, they'll just be set in their ways and just, like, that's it. Okay, fine. But reality is reality, and not every, there's way more guys out there for the woman who is looking for a good man. There's way more guys that will qualify, but you just have to, check the pros and cons, and it's not always got to be with financial. Even though, that's a big thing. Women talk about, he got to make this, he's got to make this. We get it. But for what, though? For your lifestyle? Okay. Why do you have to have that lifestyle? Or you can say, I want $1 million. I expect $1 million. I need to have them. I deserve $1 million. Okay, you deserve them. Okay, that's fine. But there's about thousands of men who would treat you like the queen that you want to be treated like. They just don't meet the financial status. And that's a fallacy. That's a mistake done by women. So, not talking bad about you. I'm just speaking what's happening. And until we switch it around to where we understand human nature and everything, it's just gonna keep on going downhill. I pray for my son by the time he gets, in his 20s and things like that, that, he just will, focus and make sure that he's good to go. But then with my daughter, I'm gonna let her know. If you find the person that you want to be with, make sure that he checks all the boxes that matter, right? Not saying that money doesn't matter, but a lot of women are just looking past all the other stuff, and they're like, "Ooh, he earns $400,000, he earns $300,000," but yet, verbally abusive or not really catering to your needs. You want all of the one, but then thinking that everything else gonna be good. That may be a reason for you not to mess with that man, because he's not gonna treat you right. He may not treat you right. He may do what he's supposed to do. But what do I know, man? I'm just speaking on YouTube. But much love to everybody. It's the end of this head of class session. Checking with me on the next go round. Much love and peace. Yeah.